Hello and welcome to Bleed Extra with me, Ryan Whyte. I'm a freelance graphic designer and I'm joined by Jacque Moodley, biscuit eater and permanent art director.
Cookie connoisseur.
Exactly. I think that's a better way of putting it. So what is Bleed Extra? This is the show where Jacque and I catch you up with our daily activities, weekly activities, things in advertising, astrophysics, tarot card readings, whatever we feel like, really. This is the supplementary show to Bleed Advertising, creative talk without the Kool-Aid.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, guten Tag, wherever you may find yourself watching or listening to this. Welcome.
So the last 2 weeks, Jacque and I were talking about astrophysics, and 2 weeks ago we kind of started on a good track, and we were drawing some analogies to, you know, the way the Big Bang, the way creativity started from creation itself. And then last week we tried to pick it up, and I think we just went off on tangents, which is cool. And Jacque sent me an article of an algorithm that can predict your and actually rate your creativity. And I did the test. I read the article, and I've just discovered Jacque sent me the article, has neglected to read it. Just calling you out on air, bro.
I'd be surprised. What did it say?
But the cool thing is it gave birth to a new topic. So the new topic I'm going to present to you is creativity in technology. So that's our new theme. So I did the test, and it actually kind of ties in with what we were speaking about with astrophysics and the creation of the universe, because now we've got man playing creator, or human playing creator, by creating artificial intelligence. So there's a little bit of a nice golden thread, synergy, segue. Yeah, I'm using advertising terms here.
Segue.
Yeah.
Let's unpack.
Yeah, let's unpack. Let's take a deep dive. It's not enough to know that the universe is expanding, and I've actually done some research here. At the rate of 46,200 miles per million light years, or as using cosmologists' units, 67.4 kilometers per second per megaparsec. So that's the rate at which the universe is expanding. This is not enough for humans. Now we need to do outer space travel for recreation, as we've come to know. All these billionaires are traveling to space recreationally, and also this whole Mars One project. So now we're taking it into the domain of humans. It's not enough to know about all these things. We're actually creating artificial intelligence, and it all started from that article you sent me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
like we're kind of on the precipice of the Tower of Babel. You know, from the Bible, where humans got to this point and they built the structure so high, and then destroyed the whole shit, and then somehow gave everyone different languages. Which, even as a kid, I was like, this is some bullshit. But anyways, sorry. I was like, okay, so you're gonna build a tower so high, and then like when you break the tower, people will have different languages, so they can't understand each other. And if they can't understand each other, then they can't build this tower again and go up to these different heights.
Yeah, I believe that was a metaphor. So the tower was a metaphor of civilization growing to a point where populations were expanding, and the tower and the height of the tower was a metaphor for just overpopulation, and then people had to disperse. And because they dispersed to different places, they developed their own languages and dialects.
Okay, using this metaphor or theory or analogy, are we then at the point now where some people just have to fucking go to space and start their own communities and create new languages and embed the language with like ASCII or whatever, so that people speak in like code and whatever? Because, you know, it's going to be Bezos, it's going to be Musk, and it's going to be like
Branson.
Branson. maybe Branson, and then there's going to be like a random Arab sheikh who just gets there, like he just like owns Emirates, and he's going to be like, fuck it, I'm going as well. And then they're going to start their own shit of like super rich, opinionated people.
Yeah.
Too many alphas. You can't have like imagine a world of alphas.
Yeah.
Super performance, super aggressive, super like motivated people. Who's gonna be work their companies? They're gonna have to send us plebs up to space to work with them. Who's gonna do their graphic design? Who's gonna do their logos for their massive multi-million-dollar companies on Mars? It's gonna be us, dog.
Well, either us or AI and robots.
AI is doing logos.
Yeah.
We're fucked. It goes all our freelance money.
They filmed a short film based on a script that AI wrote. So
I've seen the script. I've never seen a short film based on it.
Yeah, so I think they actually filmed based on the script, and it was just ridiculous. Yeah, so that's an interesting point you bring up. So it's kind of like now, say for instance, we do as humans manage to inhabit Mars and make it inhabitable. What year will we start from? You know, because we're based on the Christian, the BC dating system. So do we start from day zero? What language do we speak? Do we speak English there? I think that would be controversial.
Because you don't have to take all the things from here to there, right? You can start from scratch. But it seems like you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Like we've already gotten to this point where our language is, you know, pretty universal in a sense. Why fucking throw it all out? Let's just start from English. I'm sure there'll be different like accents that develop. Or if someone comes from like Boston, there'll be like a Boston country, and everyone sounds like they're from Boston. You know what I mean?
A Boston country in Mars.
We'll drive cars.
Okay, so I did the test. Let's bring it back to the test. And you read the article at least.
You 100%, does the results come back and you 100% that bitch?
No, so yeah, no. Did you at least read the article?
No, I skimmed through it.
Okay,
But
cool.
Just, this was also, can we just let the viewers know that this was like a month ago that I sent you this thing?
Yes, okay, fair enough. Okay, so it's a computer algorithm which measures semantic distance between two words. So you have to come up with two opposite words or least commonalities between these two words. And you come up with 10. And then based on how different the gap between those words, it gives you a creative score. So it's actually pretty cool. And the nice thing about it, it doesn't rely on bias or human opinion. It's a computer algorithm that does it. So it measures one aspect of creativity, but based on that aspect of creativity, it gives you a good idea of how creative you can be. And if you score low, it doesn't mean you're not a creative person. It's just a measure. So it's kind of cool. So my score, I'll give you my score. It's pretty cool. Is 73.32
Out of 100.
Out of 100. So on average, people score between 74 and 82. So I got the lowest of the high bracket, and then the lowest score is 24. So it's pretty cool. So do you want to hear the words that I chose?
Yes, but does it say, hey, does it give you like a little synopsis and go, hey, you're of average creativeness or you're like of higher creativeness, you should focus on doing this and this to improve your creativity? Or is it just like, this is what you are, deal with it?
No. So this is what you are. And because because the test is designed to take it blind and not have any context of the application. Yeah, basically it gives you the interpretation of the test and it doesn't give you any application on how to better your creativity. You can take the test again and input different words, but that's not going to make you more creative. It's just going to give you an indication.
Can I be honest with you?
Yo.
This reminds me of like high school. You know, in high school, you had to do an aptitude test. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want someone to dictate what my career should be. I was just like, I'm not going to take this test. So every time there was like an IQ test or an aptitude test, because the IQ test is also like, maybe you think you're a certain level of smart. And then when somebody gives you a number and they say, oh no, but you're actually like, I don't know what the fucking IQ test ranks are, but let's say I think I'm an 80 and someone tells me I'm a 60. Then you start doing some 60 shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, that's the thing. I honestly believe this. Like, I don't take tests or aptitude tests or shit like that, because then it's almost like they dictate what my intelligence level should be. And then I start acting like that. So if I think I'm smarter than I am or more creative than I am, and someone says, you're not that creative, you're a 6 out of 10 on creativity, I'm like, fuck. Now I'm going to be less creative because I'm going to believe that shit. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes something's written down and goes, you're this level of creative, or you're this level of smart, or you're this level of, I don't know, technical. Then I'm going to be like, oh shit, I'm a dum-dum as in technical stuff. And then I'm just going to start like using a hammer for like, screwdriver purposes. That's my point. Anyways, what was your words?
Yeah, what you're describing is cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
And that's just me trying to sound smart, and I just threw out I actually don't know what that means. So
all right. I'm only a 62 on the IQ level, so I'm fucking
don't be
I just want someone to tell me I'm dumb. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm dumb, and that's fine. And that's what YouTube comments are for. Like, if someone wants to tell you you're dumb, that's the place for it. But I don't want like a test, like an actual document to say you are a dum-dum. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want it official. Okay, so the words I chose, I started off with sponge, right? And then from sponge, I went to ghost.
You went what?
From sponge, I went to ghost because I was like, a sponge and a ghost don't have much in common. And I doubt that they use in the same sentence very often.
Sponge and ghost.
Yeah, sponge and ghost.
Like Patrick Swayze ghost.
Yeah, so between sponge and ghost, I managed to get 81. And then from ghost, I was like jellyfish. It's like kind of the opposite of a ghost. Yeah.
Usually they're similar, because you got the ghost with the sheet, and you got the jellyfish with the feet.
Well, a ghost, you put your hand right through it. Jellyfish is quite like, I don't know. Maybe jelly and sponge were quite similar, but yeah, that got 62, jellyfish. And then between jellyfish and eagle, 91, because I was like, yeah, these are two very different things. Eagles flying, jellyfish is swimming. Eagles
animals.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
No, I'm trying to figure out to cheat this test. Okay, they can still be animals. It's very different animals. You can't go eagle and falcon, and then they're like, oh no, this is too close.
Yeah, eagle and falcon, I think, will be quite similar. And then I was like, the next word I put was lips, because I was like, an eagle doesn't have lips, nor does a jellyfish or a ghost per se, or a sponge. So I thought lips. Then fire, from lips to fire, and then from fire to spider.
Oh, yeah, I like the run.
So actually, I listed 3 animals. So I could have probably, so I had a look at some of the others on Twitter that scored like 92. They put like meteorite in. So maybe if I subbed one of my animals with like meteorite, I might get a higher score. But yeah, sponge, ghost, jellyfish, eagle, lips, fire, spider. It sounds like an indie album name.
It sounds like something Taika Waititi would direct.
Yeah, exactly.
Chapter 7, fire. Chapter 8, spider. Wes Anderson. Imagine if Wes Anderson and Taika Waititi did a movie together. There'd be so many fucking chapters in that thing, bro.
Yeah.
Hey man, why don't you come over here to the tent? And then there's like this long fucking drawn out sequence where the person walks to the tent. And then like fucking Nora Jones plays in the background. Hey, thanks for coming to my tent. Oh, okay, bye. That's a fucking Wes Anderson Taika Waititi movie right there. We should write it.
Okay, cool.
Hey, oh, I like your tent. Yeah, it's not bad. I made this tent in grade 6. Oh, okay. And then fucking awkward conversation, and they fuck off.
Then it's like a flashback right to the beginning when they were like.
And he was a grade 6 tent, and there's like this little girl with pigtails, quite similar to the girl he's now in the tent with. And she's like, oh, nice tent. Oh, thank you.
Cut to a guy on a boat and he's fishing.
Exactly. But it's like beautiful color palettes, and he's like in the middle of the ocean. But he's like exactly in the middle of the ocean, and there's like 6 trees here, one bush, one cat, one dog, and they're facing each other. And then we zoom into the cat and the dog, and we zoom back to the boat, back to the cat and the dog, and the cat just does this, and then back to the boat. End scene. Chapter 7, the dog.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So to get the ball rolling, I know we're like pretty much halfway, but I thought let's with the whole technology and creativity in mind, let's consult a quote. You know me?
Oh, you love the quotes.
Yeah. So I've got one here.
Okay.
If you don't want a generation of robots, fund the arts.
Yeah. People want robots, man. So I'll tell you this. I bought a robot vacuum cleaner. It wasn't special on one day only. It makes my life a lot simpler. Because now I fucking hate vacuuming. And I even wrote a review. Someone asked me about it. I was like, this is the thing you need to do. It makes my life better because now instead of vacuuming for like half an hour, I set this thing on, it does the shit, and then I can sit back and watch Netflix or do creative things. I'm not doing creative things, I'm watching Netflix. But it has taken a mundane task out of my life. And that's what robots do. Robots are supposed to take the mundane, otherwise we'd all be sitting in factories still putting fucking cogs and gears together and building like, you know, car parts and things of that nature, or like squeezing toothpaste into a tube. I don't know how the toothpaste gets in the tube, but I assume there's some squeezing involved. Robots are doing that now. I understand that it means that there's like a less of a workforce, but fuck, man, imagine all you did was squeeze toothpaste into a tube. That is not the most creative outlet. Now that person who was creating toothpaste or putting toothpaste in the tube is now writing songs, and his name is James Blunt, and he's famous.
There you go.
See, thanks, robots.
Well,
taking the money out of life.
That's a good point, because you're describing like a robot that's vacuuming up your cookie crumbs from all the cookies of.
That's exactly what it is. It's cookie crumbs and hay. That's all that's in there.
But what I was going to say is it's gotten to the point where a robot isn't even a mechanical object that's shoving, you know, toothpaste into tubes, or it's an algorithm that's on our laptops, right? So it's like, what do you think of these auto logo generators that are starting to come out and stuff like that, template based things where, you know, instead of just and we sound like old people, like we're working in factories, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to lose our jobs. But yeah, I mean, auto logo generators and template based design, it's like it's coming. It's already here.
Do you know how many people I've said like I've approached to do like social media posts for and stuff like that, and they're like, no, I use Canva. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, but you know, like Canva's only got so many templates and stuff. Yeah, no, it's fine for what my purposes are. I think if you think about it, like, yeah, big corporations, whatever. So it's like a scale thing, right? So these big corporations, a big agency goes and is like, look at the stuff we did, and look at the stuff we did for Adidas, and look at the stuff we did for Gillette, and look at all those, like, you know, the cool stuff, and Taco Bell, whatever the fuck. And those guys still like go, okay, we need a big agency to handle our big business. But if you go to these mom and pop stores, or these guys who start their own little companies and they want to get a logo for their like gym apparel, they go type in gym logos, and then like there's like a lot of things, like a barbell comes up and they put like a monkey in the middle of the barbell, and it's like monkey bars or whatever the fuck. Copyright TM that before people steal my monkey bars logo. But anyways, yeah, they don't give a fuck, man. They're like, I'm starting a business, my budget is nil to $1,000. I can either pay this designer $2 or $3 grand to do this logo for me, and that's like a cheap rate, or I can just like fucking iStock it, or even Canva it, or whatever, or logo generate it. They don't care. They don't care. All they care about is making their thing. And then maybe when they start getting more notoriety, whatever, people like orders start coming, and they're like, oh, maybe I can spend a little bit more on this logo. But then why would they? They've already got their logo established. They don't care, man. Do you know what a process I had to go through to, like, the last freelance job I had? I had to go through my portfolio of like 12 years, show them all the stuff I've ever done. And then they were like, okay, we'll give you 1,000 Rand for your logo. And I was just like, really? You know what I mean? Like, they would rather just go the easy, cheaper route. Like, for them, it's not vital. It's not important. As much as we know that a logo and your brand identity is such an important thing, people out there don't give a fuck, man. If they can get a robot to do it, or an algorithm, or whatever it is, and it says their company, you know, Gym Max Performance, and it sits there and they think, okay, I think a barbell and like a car engine together would make a great logo, and then they can get a robot to go car engine, barbell.
Yeah.
It's a mechanic that you can go gym at. They don't give a fuck, bro. They're like, cool, this is fine. They would get they'd get a robot to do it. Hell, I would.
I would like a cocktail bar named Monkey Bar, like a rum bar.
Oh, that's cool. And they serve predominantly monkey shoulder.
Yes, that would be great.
If this podcast was sponsored by anybody, it would be monkey shoulder. The amount of monkey shoulder that has gone into this podcast. For me, it's like Nougatelli cookies, and for you, it's like monkey shoulder.
Yeah.
Every time we were drunk. So.
For people out there who don't know what monkey shoulder is, it's a whiskey from Scotland, I think.
Is it a whiskey? Oh, it is a whiskey. I was going to say, is it not a bourbon? I thought it was an American thing.
Yeah, Scottish whiskey. So going back to Kath Crowley's quotes from Graffiti Moon, if you don't want a generation of robots, fund the arts. And I agree with it to a point. So if you fund the arts, then more people will be playing music, more people will be performing theater, more people will be painting, writing poetry. But it's gotten to the point where that won't necessarily mean people will stop wanting robots, because like you say now, we're getting robotics is becoming an art form in a way where it's like, cool, let's input this algorithm, it's going to spew something out, and that's going to be a script. So it's incorporating. So we're still going to be doing art, but now with the assistance of artificial intelligence. So it's tricky. I get what she's saying, but
I mean, in a sense, it's making people more efficient, right? So if you're an author and you've got an idea for, like, what do you call it? What is those things that young girls read? Teen romance books or whatever.
Yes.
Whatever. And you go, I want it to be about vampires. I want it to be about werewolves. I want it to have like a love story. I want it to be like a pregnancy scare or pregnancy. I want there to be, because obviously that has to like highlight the benefits of not sleeping at 19 with someone, or 16. I don't know when people sleep with each other. I was a late bloomer. Anyways, and then you can put these like 5 or 6 like characters in, and this computer goes, meet Bella, a lady who is torn between her werewolf lover and her vampire lover, and she, you know, has a thing for necrophilia and also bestiality, and she has to decide between the two, you know, afflictions. And then you could go, that's not bad, but I can edit this, I can edit this, I can edit this, but the fucking bones are there, and a robot gave you the structure, and you can just go, ooh, but let's put it twist, because then your creativity comes, and you're like, maybe Bella and the werewolf shouldn't get together. Maybe she should go with the vampire and then have a vampire baby. And then, you know, then you can spin off 6 fucking terrible movies. So I think that the humans and robots kind of working together, much like a lot of the sci-fi movies that are coming out now, where it's like, ooh, let's, you know, they sentient now. We can like have a relationship, and it's going to be robot sex. It's coming, whether we like it or not. That's what she said. And yeah, man, we either need to get in front of it as creators, because creators, again, not that I'm the most creative, because I haven't done this test. I'm probably like a 54. But creatives can figure out a way to make it work for them, man. I think that's the thing about creativity. It's pivoting, right? It's a new word I've learned recently, pivot. but like we have to go, oh, this is what's happening, and robots are going to take us over, so let's do something else that the robots can't do, or let's use the robots to our advantage. So if I was like Basquiat or whoever the fuck, and then like can type in all my things, and I go, I want 17% cyan and 18% yellow and 14% magenta, and I go Robert, scan all my work, make a new Basquiat. Obviously I have to do this stuff up front. I have to like build my look up front, and everyone goes, oh, that's a Basquiat, or whatever. And then I go, cool, scan all my shit. Or Andy Warhol. It's like, look at my soup can, look at my Marilyn. It was Warhol, right?
Yes.
And then the robot scans and goes, okay, well, you did this shit with the Marilyn, you did this shit with the soup can. Cool, here's, I don't know, a new thing. Sony TVs, and there's a bunch of TVs. And they were like sort of overprinted and stuff. And then I can just sit back and like hang out with my family or drink cocktails or whatever the fuck Andy Warhol did. Do coke with Basquiat. I don't know what those guys did at Studio 54. They had a whale of a time. Now imagine if they had robots now. They'd be like, fuck, man, we can be chilling. They wouldn't be these like conflicted artists, and they would have like proper relationships because they're not spending all their time smelling like painted paraffin. They'd be, hanging out and like, I don't know what they were doing at the time. I don't know. I think Andy Warhol liked Elton John more than he liked Diana Ross, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Whatever he wanted to do, he could have done, and a robot could have been taking care of shit at home. What was that robot with that Indian guy that wasn't an Indian guy?
Don't know.
There's a 90s movie where there's a robot, but like Johnny Five.
Oh, high circuit or something like that. Short circuit.
Short circuit. And then, yeah, it was like, Andy Warhol could just tell his robot, go do a Warhol quickly. And Basquiat could go do a Basquiat quickly. And Picasso could touch the little kids, whatever he was saying.
So there's two things here, right? So you mentioned pivots. Do you think pivots one up from agile? So it's not enough to be agile now. Now we need a pivot. You can't just dodge. You need to swing.
All of it sounds like exercise.
Yeah. So what I want to do, and we can park this idea, another buzz term, park that, is create trading cards, creative trading cards, so with little attributes. So agility, Jacque, 63. Pivot ability, 85. And then, yeah, creativity, DTP ability, we should do that.
Attention to detail and whatever.
Yeah. Craft.
Oh, that'd be a good season. That would probably be the next Lurie's campaign. Where you like, it's like trump cards. We should apply to do the Lurie's campaign. We should. Unless, do they pay? It's always like a free thing, right? Which fucks me up. Okay, let me just say this quickly. So we have to pay thousands of rands to like put our entries in. But they always ask the agency to do like free design work for them, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know.
I mean,
they get paid. It's like, thanks for all your hundreds of thousands. I'm sure, I would love to see the balance sheet. Yeah. How much money, they must have taken such a knock recently, but like how much money they made. Because like also like the tickets, you have to buy the tickets and you fly down. And
okay.
Anyway, sorry.
The last thing I'll say before we go, follow us at lead_advertising on Instagram, by the way. That's just by the way. The second thing I'd like to know from what you said is who made you sit through Twilight?
My agency. So we were working on a campaign for Volvo, and Volvo was a sponsor in Twilight. And we did like a proactive idea for Twilight. So we had to watch Twilight when because Volvo paid for us to go and watch this fucking piece of shit. Oh my God. And recently I watched it again and I was like, I thought it was bad then. It's fucking worse now. There's also this graphics. Sorry, I know we're over time here. But have you seen the graphics of the fucking baby when they have the baby in Twilight and the baby's like CG and it's like Bella's baby and she's fucking like climbing up trees and shit. It's like, what? Like they CGI'd the whole baby. I was like, why couldn't they get a real baby? Not like it had like teeth or vampire teeth or whatever, and you can just overlay red eyes if you need to. But they CGI'd the fucking kid the whole movie, dude. This kid was like 6 months and then 6 years in like the next scene. And they CGI'd the fucking 6-year-old. I was like, you couldn't get a fucking 6-year-old from California? No.
They're paying homage to Ally McBeal.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me.
All right, Mr. Huggy, you want to dance? Let's go.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me.
It was on that level of like craft. That baby looked like, I think that was the first GIF I've ever seen where the baby was like dancing. Remember? I had a baby on like a Stiffy drive. Remember what Stiffies? We are fucking old. But I had a baby on a Stiffy drive, the Ally McBeal baby. And then it was like that rat from like that Vodacom stole that. You know, I believe in miracles. Where you from? Yeah, sexy thing. And there was a rat that was like dancing like that. And then they took the meerkat and did the same thing. They just jacked that whole fucking. That was like the first like viral video. Do you know what I mean? The fucking. I believe in miracles. I'm gonna find it. If you can find it, dude. If we can find it, it would be the ultimate.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.
Because that when I saw that I believe in miracles rat eat the cheese because he's singing to the cheese. It was like the first, like, you know when your mom sends you a video over like the WhatsApp group, it was kind of like one of those, but she like emailed it to you from like Hotmail, and you're like, ugh.
From a dial-in modem, yeah, 56K.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll find all those clips. We'll put them in, put the links in the description, and maybe insert
in the description also this creativity test, and let us know what you guys come up with. I'll do it today, and I'll see. I'll probably get a 54 or something.
We'll share the results next week. Until then, how do we find us?
I'm in Paul's off. If you just take Witkoppen and you turn left off the Porsche dealership and your first right by the circle, I'm there. You're like somewhere in Ilovo, so just go to Melrose.
Yeah, but well, once you arrive at that destination, you could log on to, say, for instance, a smart device and punch in a certain email address or a website. What would that be?
Probably bleedadvertising@gmail.com if you were to email us funny gifts, or bleedadvertising.com if you just want to see, like, you know, the different arms of this like entity, which is like the, you know, the website, but we've got the blog and we've got the YouTube and we've got the Spotify playlist and the DSSR or whatever the fuck, DSR,
RSS feed.
Exactly. We've got all types of shit. Just go to bleedadvertising.com. It's probably the quickest way. Or follow us on Instagram.
We'll leave it there.
Cool. Peace.